Hello, all you tiny people that live in my computer. My name's Finn, and today's video is going to be a little bit more stationary and a little more serious than typical. Because instead of doing something really fun, I'm going to do something very scary, and I'm going to be super upfront with some thoughts I've been having about existence and what have you. If existential crises and philosophy aren't interesting to you, this video is probably not for you, and that's entirely okay. And I am not in any way upset by that. You can click off. However, if you're interested in my thoughts or the stuff I've been thinking about, just whatever. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. I guess I'll just start ranting. I feel like there doesn't have to be super high structure for this. I don't know what worth is in the universe. Like, I don't know what conceivable or measurable way I don't know what I'm worth in, like, the universe. Like, I don't know what I'm, like, if or why I'm important. I don't know why I don't know what my worth is in the universe, and I don't know why I care. Because, like, there's an infinitely expanding way to, like, look into what I'm trying to get at. Because it can be as simple as, oh, well, your worth is equal to what you do, or who you help, or the changes you make to the world, or whatever. And, like, that's one way of looking at it. Then you have religious people tend to find what their worth is through that. And typically, in those situations, that worth becomes more, not emotional, but more, like, not physically explainable in a way. And that's fine. I don't mean to like kick rocks on that or whatever, and like put it down, because I don't mean to do that ever. Sometimes the giant world in the giant galaxy, in the giant universe, it can be a lot, and it can be extremely overstimulating. I don't know what I am. I don't know what you are. I don't know why things happen. And typically, I ask why about, like, everything all the time. Why does time move? Why do we measure it? Why am I short? Why do people have different skin tones? What's the deal with hair color? Why do dogs not speak? Like, what's the deal with only humans speaking, like languages? Why do some water sources work and some, like, straight make us, like, almost die? Why? And a lot of those have answers, and a lot of those don't. And I find myself asking why more and more. How about it? You gonna attack the computer? Don't do that. Don't go eating the computer. No pewter. Like, I find myself asking why more and more every day. a lot of the time I don't have an answer. A lot of the time I don't have something to go to, and a lot of time there's not answers that are prevalent or that present themselves when I go looking or when I go online. Or, like, one of the big ones that, like, fucks me, like, all the time and really messes with my head. Why do we exist? Like, individually, what is my purpose? And as a whole, what is the purpose of people? Like, why are we here? And different religions state that there's different reasons for why. Different sociologies point towards different stuff. Different psyches. Certain people feel pushed to do specific things in life. So there's a bunch of, like, conceivable ways of answering that question. But then that gets lost because if there's 90 ways to answer the question and you can't prove that any of them are the right answer, what is the answer? Why are we here? I think individually, looking for what you're here for, what your purpose is, what you're meant to do, is just a part of humanity. I think that is fine. And I think I figured out why I'm here. I know what I do, what I'm supposed to do, and all that. And for the most part, that's this. That's talking to you guys. That's having a conversation with people online. That's building what little I have with this channel and with the people on it and with the people in the Discord and everything. And I feel very confidently that that's, like, what I'm meant to do. That my purpose as a single unit of humanity is that. Whereas I don't know why groups of people exist. It's like, oh, this guy's a farmer. Cool. That's what he's meant to do. What's the deal with the group of them? Why? And then it's always like, okay, well, if the farmer's there to farm, and the people who fight are there to fight, and the people who clean are there to clean, as a group, they just make everything work together. Okay, cool. At a certain point, we didn't do all that stuff. So, what then? Was our purpose to get to now? Does it have anything to do with that at all? Do we have one? And then on top of all of those, it's like, okay, cool. We have blank purpose, whatever. Why do we have that? Like, let's say the purpose is, like, shitty, simple, populate Earth. Cool. Why is that our purpose? Why are we supposed to do that? Why are we the top on this planet when there's so much on it? Why do we sit at the top? Why are we doing things that other species don't? Where does free will come from? Where does the ability to have thoughts come from? Like, I don't know, and to a certain extent that makes me, like, really uneasy. Because, like, why is the sky blue? It's like, that's not going to make me feel bad if I don't know it. Like, there's, like, a scientific reasoning. You can look into it. But then, when it comes to these more philosophical questions and these more thought-provoking, analytic dives into people, it's like, not getting an answer fucks with me. Because I don't know how to move forward without that information. I've been told by others, and I don't mean to like be all over the place and be like, hey, this is a factoid or whatever. I've been told I'm a fairly analytical person. Just with the way I look at things, with all that. I've been told that by teachers, I've been told that by friends, whatever the fuck. So, like, with that somewhat analytical mind, I really like having answers that don't make another question. It's like, okay, why do cats meow? Well, they do it to communicate. Okay, why don't they communicate in, like, verbiage like we do? Okay, well, they haven't evolved into it. Okay, why did we evolve into it and they didn't? Specific DNA strands or whatever the hell that got us there. Okay, cool. Those are connected to these apes or whatever. How come they don't speak but we do? It's like questions that get answered with something that immediately makes me think of a question is really good, like, for wanting to learn. But being somebody who's into learning is almost entirely based off of question. It's like, okay, you want to be an astrophysicist. Great. Why does this thing happen? Oh, well, the moon is up there because it, at one point, had crashed in, a bigger rock had crashed into Earth and sent the moon out. Okay, cool. Where'd that rock come from? And why was it moving? Oh, well, it was in this galaxy at this point, and it was moving because it split away from this. Okay, why did it split away from that? Well, this rock hit it. Where'd that rock come from? Learning is entirely based on why. So it's really good on a analytical and on a learning-based, like, system. Like, why? Great. Why? Great. When it comes to existential stuff, I find it to be extremely unnerving that it never stops. And then you get to other, like, existential stuff. It's like, okay, why does the universe exist? Or, like, you can start easier. It's like, okay, where did I come from? Evolutionary, it's like, oh, apes. Okay, cool, where'd the apes come from? Oh, these fish things. Okay, where did those come from? Phytoplankton. Okay, where did that come from? Space dust. Okay, where'd the space dust come from? This planet exploded. Why did that planet explode? This fucking sun blew up. Why'd that sun blow up? Well, these two stars nailed together. Why did those two stars nail together? Well, they were slowly moving in opposing directions, and then they at one point looped and came back and wrapped around one another, and boom. Okay, cool. Why did they turn around? Well, they hit something that, like, messed with their gravitational field or whatever the fuck, pushed them. Okay, cool. Why did that happen? Well, there was another explosion way over here that pushed them. Great. Why did that explode? Well, all these stars nailed together to make this big cluster of stars. Okay, great. Why is that there? Well, and it's just infinite. And at a certain point, even those little things, it's like, oh, okay, space dust. Where did that come from? And it keeps going. And at a certain point, it gets to, okay, so two things. A, where the fuck did the space dust come from? Big Bang. Where'd the Big Bang come from? I don't know. We don't know. I can't tell you. And if you're of a certain religion or whatever, you can look at it that way. If you're of a certain scientific belief, you probably think of it one way. I don't care about the opinionated stuff. I want, and it won't happen ever. I feel like I'm never going to get the answer in my lifetime. I feel like 300 years from now we won't have the answer. But I want to know where the fuck we come from. Why are we here? What did we do to deserve this existence? And what in it, like, pushed us to be here? And I'm not religious. However, I do feel there's something out there. Like, the idea of humanity coming from nothing, in my mind, doesn't make sense. It, like, doesn't go together in any conceivable way. I do not believe in any specific, like, God or any specific power, but there's something that made our universe. And I don't know what the fuck it is, And I'm not going to get that answer. I feel like I'm also of the belief that if there is a power out there, they don't give a single fuck. Not in a rude way, but like, think about it. When you go over an anthill, do you care about all those ants? Usually people are going to tell you no. Okay, now imagine there is billions and billions and billions of those ants. And on every single one of those ants, there's billions and billions and billions of cells or whatever. Now imagine the cells are humanity, and you are whatever the power is that created it. Why do you care? Like, what purpose does it serve for you to give a fuck? Like, if you had infinite power and could make and do anything, why do you care about what Billy thinks or what Susie does on Tuesday? Why do you care what Solomon eats? Like, why does any of that matter? And the only answers I've ever been given for that are emotional stuff. And it's like, that's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you to exclaim to me that that power has empathy. Because, like, sure, they created empathy, so they should have it. But, like, why the fuck do they care? It's like, oh, well, they're a good person. Cool. Why the fuck are they a good person? Because they're that way. It's like, I didn't answer the questions. And I don't mean to push or to shove towards anybody who believes anything whatsoever. If you're strictly science-based, cool. If you're strictly faith-based, cool. I don't really care about your individual thought process. At least not in a way that affects mine. I care that you're given the free will to think about that. I care that you're given the express ability to think and feel those things. And I care that you answer the questions if you do. However, it's not like it's the end of the world for you to disagree with me. And it's not like it's the end of the world for you to try to answer the question. And I also don't want to be antagonistic or aggressive or offensive in any way, shape, or form towards anyone. But, like, these answers fuck me. I don't know why existence exists. And existence is exhausting. Like, fuck, that needs to go on a t-shirt. Existence is exhausting. It takes all of your time, and it gives you nothing. I am 19. It is March, so in 4 months, no. Yeah. No, 5. Well, it's the end of March. In 4 and some change months, I'm turning 20. And that is so goddamn scary. Because turning 18, turning 19, whatever, becoming an adult, didn't really strike me ever. Because growing up, I was fairly adult. Growing up, I did a lot. I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was dealing with dramatics of people dying, or people doing drugs, or not having my parents around, or whatever. So hitting 18 and hitting 19 kind of felt like another year. And when I turned 19, I had a little bit of, like, weird feelings towards it, but it wasn't much, because I still felt the same. Turning 20 is so much different, and it feels so weird. I have been addressing myself with a 1 at the front of my age, or teen at the end of it. And that has been my life for most of what I can remember. Most of the time of my existence that I have memory over, I have been in that range. And here in a couple months, that'll be not accurate anymore. when I was 15, I had a friend who was 20, and he always ranted about, I don't know the right words for it. He would rant about the fact that turning 20 was more of a experience than people give credit for. And I was always like, yeah, shut up, I don't care. Not because I don't care about that person, haven't talked to them in forever, but, and not because I don't care about what they were saying, but because the reasons they were giving me made no sense. And the one thing that he would say that is still stuck with me, and I still, have to figure out how to handle, is most people don't make it to 100. 20 is a fifth of the way there. Some people make it to 80. 20 is a fourth of the way there. Some people don't make it to 60. 20 is a third of the way there. Some people don't make it to 40. 20 is half of the way there. And then some people don't make it to 20. Life moves so fast, and life doesn't let you recuperate. Life runs in a straight line, and when you chase that line, you experience time better. You do not get more. There is one thing in the world that everybody has in common. We're all gonna die. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that every single creature on this planet, I'm including the jellyfish that are immortal, because you can kill them. We're all gonna die. And as somebody who on, I believe it would be 4 separate occasions, tried to kill myself, and on 2 occasions planned to without trying, including the day before I turned 18. Hitting 20 is crazy because it means it's been 2 years since I had that thought. And that's a lot. Time is the one resource you can't have more of. You can eat healthy, you can work out, you can take care of yourself, but you're not gaining time by doing any of that. You're just using the time you have better. And that's kind of scary. It's kind of eerie. And it's fucking terrifying. I think about death more so than I think about bringing life. I'm not necessarily excited in the idea of, children or whatever, and if I never do, awesome. But that idea is, 0.0000001 compared to the amount I think about death. I think about death so incredibly often. I think about my death. I think about all my friends' deaths. I think about my family's death. I think about when these cats are gonna die. I think about when dogs are gonna die, when bears are gonna die, when birds will stop flying. I think about death all the fucking time. when I'm thinking about like a pitch for a movie or a video game or a comic or whatever, it's always death. When I watch movies, the stuff that always gets to me is always death. Death is something that we all have, it's something that we all deal with. And it's something that, for some reason, people are like afraid of talking about. And don't get me wrong, I'm afraid of what comes after death. I'm afraid of what comes before death. Death itself isn't that worrying. Like, you could die in a horrible way, but you could also die really peacefully around people you care about. And that's really cool. The issue doesn't come with being afraid of death. The issue comes with being afraid of not doing what I'm meant to do before death. The fear comes with, okay, death is here. I'm here. I have to do everything I can in this space. I don't know when this is. This could be tomorrow. This could be another 100 years from now. I don't know. But somewhere through here, I'm done. What can I do in this time? What can I do to optimize my time? What can I do to better impact other people's? What can I do? What can I do in the time I'm given? If I only have another day, what am I doing today? Is it worth it? If I have a year, okay, what am I doing in a year? Is that worth it? If I'm going to be around for another 50, is that 50 years going to be worth it, or am I going to be sat doing nothing the whole time? Like, I need to do something, but I don't know what. And I have genuinely gotten to the point where when it comes to my purpose, I feel like there's 3 ways to answer your purpose. The first one is, what do you do? What are you supposed to do that affects other people that you need to do? And for me, I feel like I have 2 answers to that. The first one is this. The first one is making videos. The first one is talking with you guys and explaining things and trying my hardest to give myself to you guys in as real of a way as I can, while making things that are thought-provoking or entertaining or just fun, whatever. And I feel like that's the big one on that. And then the other side of, okay, what do I do for people, is I feel I need to be real with people. I need to show emotion, express emotion, and expect emotion back from anyone that I find in life. I feel I need to treat people like every single person is special, because they are. I feel the need to express respect and express care. I feel the need to help where I can. A few months ago, I made a big deal about the Water Project, which is a non-profit organization that helps with bringing water, clean and usable, drinkable, like able to be cleaned in water, to spaces in Africa. And I don't know for sure how much that helped, but I know because of 2 comments and 1 person in the Discord and stuff, and myself, I learned that I did something. I helped a little. And I don't have proof that I raised $100 for them, or that whatever, you know. But I did something. And I would like to do more charity stuff in the future. Especially streaming, I feel like could be really good because you can actually do like a donation thing with people. So maybe at some point that'll be something I do, and I feel like that sort of helping and that sort of stuff is not only is it really good for other people, but it's also really helpful for me on like a mental level. And on top of that, I get to help the people who get helped by the charity while also fundamentally pushing and changing and adapting other people into wanting to help. If I show you guys, hey, here's a charity that I care about, you guys should check it out and see if you want to help. If one person goes and helps, that's now one extra person who gives a shit. If 2 people do that, that's 2 people that give a shit. 5, that's 5 people that give a shit. If 100 people give a shit, my ability to help has now been amplified by all of their ability to help, and vice versa. And then, not only are they helping that community, they're helping my community. They are now joining in my community. They are now fundamentally reshaping what it means to be a part of this channel and part of their humanity and part of their empathy and part of their ability to care and their readiness to help. And that's super fucking cool. And then another thing about this online stuff is I think I handle the growth really well. I think there's a lot of people who, when they start growing online, they sort of have like changes in their demeanor or whatever. And I think I've handled myself really well, and I haven't changed much. But I would be a big, stupid fucking liar if I told you I'm not terrified. As of recording this, we're at 723 subscribers. That's great. And I'm so very happy, and I have no complaints whatsoever. I cried for 100 subs, alright? I did. I cried at 100. And I cried at 500. I'll definitely cry at 1,000. I give a shit about you guys and about that number and about everything else to do with this channel. And I am so scared. Because 1,000, unless I'm mistaken, is more than the amount of people I went to school with. Like in my high school, which had other districts send their kids to it and stuff. I've never seen 1,000 people in my life. Maybe at graduation there was like over 1,000, but and then I'm terrified of not being able to treat you guys the same. For the most part, I respond to every single YouTube comment. Every single fucking one. Every one I get, I respond to. And I continue to respond to it anytime I notice that there's new responses from that person. I respond to every goddamn comment. I look at and care about every view and every like and every sub. And when I'm able to see names of people who have subbed, I'm happy and I'm smiling and I'm expressing how much I give a shit about those individuals. In the Discord, there's, I think, 26 people now. I can one-on-one conversate with all of those people if needed. And I'm scared that I won't be able to anymore. I'm scared that at a certain point, there's going to be too many comments. And I'm not going to be able to respond to all of them. I'm scared that the Discord's going to have too many people in it. And I'm not going to be able to communicate with everybody on a one-on-one, like, wavelength. And I won't be able to genuinely be friendly with everybody. And that's scary. Because that's what I want. It's what I want to do and who I want to be. And that's fucking terrifying. With YouTube, I always feel like I always feel like I'm talking with friends, you know? Like I'm spending time with people that I love. And I mean that. When I make community posts and I say I love you, that's not some big stupid YouTuber speak for trying to get like care from you. I love you people. You are the most beautiful part of my life. And I want to put every moment that I can into this and our relationship and with how special and everything it is. And I'm scared that I won't be able to love you guys correctly. There are people in this community who have changed my life forever. There are friends I've made who have gotten me through trauma. There are friends I've made who have offered to help me in ways that are exponentially insane in comparison to what other people have done for me. And I fucking love you guys. I genuinely feel like you guys are not just random numbers. You're not just a bunch of weird people. You're my friends. You care about what I say. You listen to what I mean, and you show care about things I put my passion and my love into. And that's so special, and that's so amazing, and I can't thank any one of you enough if I tried. And I'm so fucking scared that those things won't be able to be the same. Because I'm always gonna love you guys, and I'm always gonna show my affection and what I say and care about. And I'm always going to genuinely be so fucking grateful for every moment you guys give me. And at a certain point, those numbers get too big. At a certain point, we stop being a village and we start being a town. At a certain point, we stop being a family and we start being neighbors. And then from neighbors, we start living in separate states. And then we're in different countries, and we're just so disconnected. And I am so afraid of that. I'm so afraid of this channel growing. And I'm so afraid of the channel not growing. I'm so afraid of the opposite. I'm so afraid of the idea of, instead of it growing and getting so big that it stops being tight-knit, I'm scared that it stops growing. I'm scared that it stays so incredibly small while being so large. 700 is still so many fucking people. But I'm afraid of it getting stuck. I'm afraid of not being good enough with the things I make, or my personality being bad and people not liking it. I'm so afraid of being stuck at a milestone and not being able to have any proof of my hard work. I'm scared of being stuck at a concurrent viewership or stuck with a specific amount of subs or whatever. I'm scared of being stuck, and I'm scared of growing. So what am I comfortable with? I don't know if it's upfront. I don't know if it's noticeable. I don't know if people care. But to an extent, I have imposter syndrome. And typically that can lead to not thinking I'm good enough at pretty much anything. But especially at things that I genuinely am trying with. Like this, where I'm trying my hardest and I'm putting every moment that I can into it. And I'm still so worried that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough, that the things I make aren't worthy of your views, of your likes, of your subscription, that what I'm doing and what I'm putting together and all of that is just nothing. And and even when I make something that like I'm proud of, at a certain point it becomes, okay, cool, I did good, but there's people who make better stuff than me. All over the internet. There's people who deserve these people's time more than me. These people just gave me 20 minutes of their time. They could have spent that 20 minutes anywhere. And they spent it with me, and I don't deserve that. Or things of that manner are fairly typical thoughts in my mind. And I don't know how to handle that. On any level, really. And I don't know. I feel like in being stuck, in being still, I would be harshly expressing that it was all my fault. We're not moving because I did something wrong. My content's dog shit, that's why we're not moving. Or my personality's the issue, whatever it is. And then in growing, that same thoughts of I'm not good enough are going to instead be stuck on, okay, why are these people giving me their time? Like, what conceivable thing could make that happen? Because I have done nothing to deserve it. Or, like, okay, cool, 1,000 people subscribe to me. Oh my fucking god. I don't talk to 2 people in my daily life. How do I express gratitude towards 1,000 people? What do I do? And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I need a tear break. I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back from my little break. That question from before, that beginning go-to of why, I push that on everything a little too much, including with YouTube, where it's like, great, I'm so happy that I got all these views on this video. Why on that one? Like, what about that specific video deserves all these views? What about that specific video deserves any of this? Like, what is the difference between a video I make that gets 40 and a video I make that gets 400, you know? Other than just like YouTube's, there's a lot of strategy, there's a lot of luck. Any successful YouTuber will tell you there's luck. There are people who say otherwise, and those people typically have already gotten the luck part done and now know all the strategies and can advertise those things. And that's not always true. Sometimes people can do it. But, like, that sort of thing really messes with me. Or, like, a shitpost gets a shitload of views, but then something I work really hard on doesn't. It's like, I spent countless hours on this video, and then nothing. Or my most popular video is me shaving my head. That's really not cool. That like sucks. And I don't know why that happens, and nobody can tell me. So fuck. Who knows if this does well? This is so far 40 fucking minutes of me ranting. Can't imagine that's cool. Which I will continue to do for a bit at least. I'm somebody who in my happiest moments I'm depressed. And I don't mean that to be like the fucking weirdo who's like, oh, I'm so sad right now. Cause like, A, fuck those people, and B, I'm not always sad. I'm just always in these negative states. And I'm always anxious, no matter what I'm doing. If I'm sat on the couch, anxious. If I'm at work, anxious. If I'm dealing with social stuff, anxious. When I'm recording, anxious. When I'm typing stuff for videos, anxious. When I press the schedule button, I'm anxious. When the video comes out, I'm anxious. When I hold one of the cats, I'm anxious. When I eat, I'm anxious. When I walk, I'm anxious. If I drive, I'm anxious. There's like, it's an infinite array of anxiety. And then anything that can go wrong, I'm thinking of it going wrong. Everything. Anything that can possibly pop in my head. Currently, my laptop is stacked on a couple boxes of stuff. Guess what? I'm thinking about it breaking and me not having a way to do videos for a while. And that's making me tweak. Or when I cook, it's, okay, how am I going to burn myself today? What am I going to do to fuck up the food? What did I accidentally put in it that I'm allergic to? It's infinitely that stuff. Or it's like, oh, I overshared with this friend. They're not going to talk to me tomorrow. That sucks. Or, oh no, I let my emotions boil up too much, and now I'm angry. People are going to hate me. So that's, you know. Another thing that is something that really fucking gets to me. Why wasn't I born who I am? Like, why am I different? Why am I trans? Why does that? Why? What? Why didn't I come into the world the way I should have? Why? Why am I weird? Why? Why wasn't I born a girl, you know? It's who I am. It's who all my friends and stuff see me as. Why didn't I start that way? Why did I have to learn that for so long? Why did I have to be pushed into scenarios like that for so long? Why wasn't I born as myself? And why do some people not care? Why do some people see it as a problem, and why do some people make it where I have to ask why I'm this way? You know? I don't know. I think about that a lot. There's people out there who will always hate me for simply being who I am. There's people out there who are gonna hate me no matter what I do. There's people out there who would straight up kill me and my friends for being who we are. I don't know. It's always up there. And I typically try to ignore homophobia and transphobia and stuff, because when you respond to people, they see it as a way to continue. But to a certain extent, it does affect me, you know? To a certain extent, it hurts to hear those words, to have people express that you're invalid and that you're mentally ill or crazy or a fucking plague. That it's not fun. I don't know. That stuff kind of gets to me a lot. Um, I'm sorry. I know I already said this was gonna be like a serious video, but fuck. Why? You know? Just why? I will probably continue this at some point. I don't know when. Maybe there will be a part 2. Maybe it'll become a thing I do every once in a while. I don't know. If you watched all the way to here, thank you. I know it's not a genuine one-on-one conversation, but I really needed to talk about some of that to somebody. So thank you for listening. If you did listen all this way through, comment a pun. Respond to all the serious stuff, but comment a pun. Just cause. Thank you guys so much. I do genuinely appreciate all the support. I do genuinely appreciate the views, the likes, the subs, the comments. I appreciate you guys being here and being a part of this community and allowing me to express myself to you. Thank you for all of that. And I cannot wait to make more stuff for you guys next week, and I cannot wait to express my gratitude to you guys more and more. And I cannot express that enough. I love you guys so fucking much. You are tremendous, and you mean everything to me. Thank you for your time. Stay safe. Love you guys.